Hey there, this is Dana, or Curie, author, speaker, and wellness advocate. Today we're going to talk about a very serious topic on Ambien can mess you up. So, very interesting. When I started my fibromyalgia journey over 10 years ago, the first drug that was prescribed to me was Ambien. And boy, oh boy, do I have a lot to share today. For those who may not know me, you can always go check out my other videos. There's plenty on my channel. This is a little medical disclaimer that my YouTube channel is only educational. It is to build awareness, to educate, to advocate for natural, holistic, gentle options to take back control of your body and mind. I'm gonna shut this music off so you can hear me. Love that. Marvin Gaye, my favorite. All right, let's move forward and talk about Ambien. So this drug's not new to me. Back in March 2008, after my rheumatologist diagnosed me with primary fibromyalgia, and he prescribed Ambien, he handed me this prescription and said that it should help me sleep, that it should reduce my aches and pains. Well, let me tell you what really happened. I couldn't sleep. I had an interesting side effect that it did the opposite. My pain didn't change. I still had chronic pain, and I was not able to sleep at all. So after spending the entire night wide awake after taking Ambien, I decided the next day that, you know what, this drug's not meant for me. I wasn't willing to give up not one more night for that toxic drug. So I tossed it in the trash. And for 1 year, I pretty much carried on without any medicine. For those who want the whole story on all kind of things to do with benzodiazepines, gabapentin, Cymbalta, you can go check that out in your free time. In the meanwhile, let's talk about Ambien. All right, I don't know how to pronounce the other name, so give me a little grace, people. It's spelled Zolpidem. I'm thinking it's Zolpidem. Of course, I said I don't know how to pronounce it, so let's just move on and call it Ambien because that's what it's known for. So possibly you are struggling with insomnia. Maybe you have depression. Maybe you have chronic pain, back problems, herniated discs, autoimmune conditions, or for whatever reason your doctor handed you the prescription too. So today, if you didn't fill that prescription, or even if you did, you may want to tune into this video to arm yourself with some credible feedback. It has been quite enlightening for me. Alrighty, let's talk about it. So 44 million prescriptions have been written for Ambien. Quite interesting that this seems to be the go-to drug for insomnia. I'm no stranger to insomnia. I mean, fibromyalgia and insomnia go hand in hand. And people who also have ADHD or any kind of attention deficits can also commonly find themselves having sleepless nights. You know that movie Sleepless in Seattle? Yeah, we could be sleepless wherever we live too. It's no fun, and I understand the desperation of wanting to sleep. Truly, if we're not getting quality sound sleep, it can really wreak havoc in our cognitive function, our physical health, as well as our emotional wellness. So we really do want to increase our ability to sleep soundly. The key for today, if you're gonna get anything out of this, people, here's the key. Don't take Ambien. Read your label. Do your research. Educate yourself. Arm yourself. Please really consider some natural, holistic ways, because when you hear what I just read and what I've just learned, I mean, I knew about Ambien, but I didn't realize until recently after I did the research how destructive it is. Oh my gosh. This is something that's been hitting the news. We know of a special actress, no names today, but you know who I'm talking about. She got herself in trouble on Twitter because she was doing a little Ambien, and it can cause people to say and do things and even tweet things that are gonna get you in trouble. That's right, you could lose your TV show over it. You could actually get convicted and go to jail. And I'm so disheartened. I mean, I'm heartbroken to find out how many people are actually behind bars today because they took Ambien. I mean, they were just prescribed a drug. They were just doing what their doctor ordered. But they found themselves in trouble because what happens is it greatly destroys your cognitive function. It could change your personality, and it could cause very, very disabling symptoms that could have long-term consequences, and that includes legal, criminal challenges that you're going to find yourself in big trouble with the law if you're not careful. So let's talk about the side effects of Ambien, and this isn't all of them. This is just a little snapshot. Okay, side effects of Ambien: dizziness and lightheadedness, dry mouth or throat, constipation, impaired thinking and confusion, slowed reaction time, short-term memory loss, daytime fatigue and drowsiness, hallucinations. Ooh, you might be seeing things that aren't there, people. Beware. Agitation, irritability, hostility, aggression, sleepwalking, sleep talking, sleep driving. Yes, you heard that correct. People are driving. They may look like they're awake. They may appear that their eyes are open and they're talking and they're walking and they're moving and they're eating and conversing with you. They're asleep. Oh dear Lord, this drug Ambien is poison. All right, interesting. So I shared a little bit on my Facebook page about Ambien, and oh my goodness, the things people shared with me. One person said that when she was prescribed Ambien, she ate an entire cake. Didn't even know it. She said her husband had to toss the Ambien in the trash can because she was just eating the house out of home. Next, let's talk about lawsuits. All right, there's so many of them, I can't even keep up. I mean, holy cow. Ambien is destructive as far as legal issues and having criminal offenses that are going to get you convicted. One woman was prescribed her Ambien, took her Ambien, and went to bed. And when she woke up, she was in jail. There was this huge gap of time. You know, I'm not sure if it was 8 hours, 15 hours, whatever the case may be. The woman had some serious issues that came down on her, and she confronted a fact that she couldn't remember. That's right, there's impaired thinking, hallucinations, cognitive impairment. We're talking your brain is fried on Ambien. So this woman found herself in jail. She discovered through video footage that she got dressed, left her home, got in her vehicle, and was driving recklessly, and police stopped her. She failed the breathalyzer, and it wasn't because she had any alcohol in her system. So they did some blood work and said, hey, there is no alcohol, but we found a little Ambien in your blood work, and oh boy, you got yourself in trouble, lady. So what happened was she had this major lawsuit, and they convicted her. It's really sad. It's actually heartbreaking because this is a prescription that a doctor prescribed her to sleep. She didn't sign up for this, people. She didn't sign up for this disabling, intense, legal situation. And yet, how many people today, I mean, we're talking thousands upon thousands of people are finding themselves behind bars or in the court fighting the system. And guess what? You don't win. You don't win. And it's really sad because it ended up her attorney said that he really believes it's the pharmaceutical industry who should have to be responsible and accountable for the negative and just horrific side effects of Ambien. And yet, Big Pharma runs free. That's right. So when we follow the money trail, it really will lead us back to the pharmaceutical industry. And for many people who want to say, well, she had a choice and she should have known better and she should have known about the side effects, you know, in her defense, I'm going to say, doctors don't always tell us. They don't always tell us. And there are times when we are in situations where our health could be so poor and we could have so many chronic conditions that we're just not in a position to advocate and to do the research. And, you know, I can really understand and sympathize and have compassion for this woman who is now doing time in jail for a drug that was prescribed to her to help her sleep. So the next time you want to sleep, rethink the best way and the safest solution. Another thing is that they said in a lot of the information I was researching to never mix any other medications with Ambien because it could be deadly. Another thing is that the FDA ended up making new rules. So what happened was, you know, obviously the FDA finds out about all the deaths and all the suicides and all of the deadly implications and the people who are getting into legal trouble and finding themselves behind bars over Ambien. And what happened is the FDA did some rethinking. I mean, kudos to them for at least making some changes. But what they did is they took a look at it and they said, we have noticed that females, especially women, are having really negative effects with Ambien. So we need to rethink how are females metabolizing this drug. It's not the same as how men metabolize it. And so they are basically suggesting to physicians to cut the dose in half. Now, you know, I'm not a doctor, and, you know, as I mentioned for my medical disclaimer, I don't claim to cure you or to say that I know all of the answers because obviously, hey, I'm not a medical professional and I don't say I am. But it doesn't take a lot of, you know, it doesn't take rocket science or a lot to come up to the conclusion that this is beyond just an FDA saying you need to lower your dose. I mean, maybe we should rethink this as in take it off the market, people. Like Big Pharma, take your toxic, poisonous Ambien off the market. Of course, in all reality, we know that's not going to happen. We know that despite the negative implications and consequences and the countless precious lives that are lost every day to pharmaceutical drugs, they're not going to take it off the market. That's why we have to do our homework. And, you know, there are times people are so sick they're not able to educate themselves. But, you know, it's a live and learn experience. I'm glad my Ambien kept me awake all night. Why? Because I said, bye-bye, and I threw it in the trash. You know, but some people, they're saying, oh, I'm having all these wonderful results. You know what I have to say to you? Please, 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 please consider something natural. The one thing that I did notice is what's really working for me is CBD oil. So instead of taking medications, instead of taking anything that has these kind of serious consequences and severe interactions and negative side effects, and I mean, I'm talking, Ambien messes up your head, people. I mean, let's be honest, it messes people up. You know, obviously there's some people who aren't having bad results. Hey, it's still on the market. There's pros, there's cons. We have to decide for ourselves. But I am so thankful that CBD oil made from hemp is available today. I am having wonderful results. I'm sleeping. I'm getting quality sleep. And I want to mention that, you know, if you want to check out CBD, you could check out my link. That's fine. I did switch companies. It's CTFO. I'll have a new video on that one. But really rethink how you want to heal naturally, how you want to sleep naturally, how you want to improve your quality of life. And also share your stories. What did Ambien do with you? Did it mess you up? Check out DanaArcuri.com. Have an awesome day and be well.